So when you think of retirement communities, you probably think of Palm Springs, the Palm Desert, South Florida, Las Vegas, with 55 plus communities on golf courses. And while we do have a couple of those, they're few and far between. I think we maybe have less than 5.
Less than 5 total.
Total.
Yeah.
In the whole Quad Cities area, which we're going to cover the whole Quad Cities area today.
So the Quad Cities, if we refer to it, it makes up of Prescott, Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, Dewey, Humboldt. That kind of makes up the whole Quad Cities area, which is about 150,000 people in total. So it's still a pretty small town feel. But, you know, retirees tend to flock to communities where they've got great mild weather and, you know, golf and all those sorts of things. Prescott, although is topped the list for retirement communities for years and years and years, but it's probably the one community that's in more of a high desert climate. You know, we're at mile high elevation. And it's not what you would typically think of as a retirement community. So what we're going to try to unpack today is what evolution is happening in Prescott, and if indeed it's just for retirees or not.
Well, and I feel too, it's been on several lists, right? So it's been on moneymagazine.com, it's been on Forbes, it's been on best places to retire. It's been on several list of best places to retire. But I think the nice thing here that we have that a lot of the other areas don't have is most of our communities are all ages. So it's creating kind of this nice melting pot of all generations and all ages within our communities. And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, our neighborhood, when it's completely built out, it'll have about 200 houses in it. And I think right now we're at about 50%. So we've got about 100 houses, but of those households in our neighborhood, I would guess that at least half of those have kids under the age of 10.
And the other half are retirees.
So it's kind of, it's going, you know, we've had a few comments on some recent videos, which we love, you know, the engagement from some of our watchers and viewers. You know, it's kind of going through an evolutionary stage right now. You know, it's a place that, you know, may have been known and still tops the list of great places to retire, but, you know, here we are, and, you know, we're a younger family. We've got young kids, even though we're, you know, gray hair and all, even though we had kids late, you know, we came to this community because it does have that small town feel,
but the large city amenities.
And
I think that's what's attractive to all ages too, because you have the small town feel, you have the quaintness and the charm of the Quad Cities area and the Prescott area, but you still have the big amenities, which is nice. And I think a lot of people, no matter what the age range, appreciates that.
Yeah. So one thing that's been going on recently, and we're gonna drop in some videos of it, is just the expansion of all the parks that are going on here.
Huge expansion.
I mean, indoor parks like the Park Collective, which is in Prescott Valley, outdoor parks, pump tracks. I mean, all the things that would, and I mean, the pump tracks, it's crazy because you're gonna have people of all ages, even at the pump track, whether they're, you know, in your 60s, like, you know, our uncle, you know, he hits the pump track with the toddlers and, you know, the 4 and 5-year-olds. It's just, and the city of Prescott is putting, you know, lots of time and energy with, you know, different affiliations like IMBA, the International Mountain Bike Association. They're building trails like crazy throughout the whole area. In the short years that we were away from Prescott, after coming back, it's amazing how much this area has grown as far as recreational opportunities.
And I feel it's changed too, because it was a lot of retirees when we were first here. And I think it's been great though, because, you know, I think generations learn from other generations, right? And so I think that's been pretty fantastic. The other thing too is the public pools. So in Prescott Valley, there's this huge park. It has a public pool. It has, diving boards. And so it's not just something that you can, do in the nice weather. So if it's hot, you can go. We have splash pads and we have, the pool, and there's just something for everybody, which I actually really, really like. And trust me, our kids have probably seen 95% of the parks in the area.
Yeah, for sure. The great thing is, because the weather is relatively mild, I mean, we just had snow yesterday. It's already gone. It was gone by yesterday afternoon. We've got the mild weather, and so whether it's wintertime or summertime, summertime we're topping out in the high 80s, low 90s, maybe in a rare day we'd hit 100.
Yeah.
But for the most part, to get outside and do all kinds of things, whether you're retired or you're a working family, we've just got so much opportunity. So, I mean, it's we're even getting comments and clients from down in the Phoenix Valley, which is only about 90 minutes away, that want to get out of a big city of several million people and get into a smaller town feel, but still have, like Tiffany said, all the amenities that you would want, like your Costco and Target and all that sort of thing, shopping. But get out of the high traffic, kind of rat race of living in a big city.
We do have traffic, but it's nothing like the big city traffic, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say that. The other thing too we should probably touch on is housing. So like we mentioned earlier, there's only a few communities that are age restricted communities, 55 or better. There's a community for everybody. So if you like cabins in the woods, we have that. If you like newer homes and subdivisions that have amenities, and let me tell you, the amenities in some of these new subdivisions that we have around here are top notch. In fact, it's the Dells, that's in Prescott, has a great community center, and they have Peloton bikes out on the patio, the covered patio. So you can take in the views of the Dells around you and get your workout in. So, who doesn't enjoy the scenery and being able to do that? We have pools that are ridiculous, beautiful pools, splash pads, playgrounds, pickleball. Everybody loves pickleball up here for some reason. It's fun, but it's a big deal in Prescott area. So that's nice. And then we have the homes that are on bigger acreage too, right? So, you're coming up with animals, and maybe that's kind of your retirement dream, or maybe that's your dream to build a homestead with your family. I think it works for multiple generations here. So.
Yeah. One thing we wanted to touch on too, though, for the younger generations that aren't quite of the age of adults, so the teenagers, talk about what's there to do for them compared to a big city.
So a lot of the parks, so we're actually getting an indoor hockey ring that's going to go in near the racetrack, Yavapai Downs, out in Prescott off of the 89.
It might be outdoor, but
might be outdoor.
Yeah, it might be an outdoor rink, but
we have a lot of leagues. I know we have a good friend who's volunteering to be a volleyball coach at the Y. So there's a lot of sports and leagues, certain things like that are going on. We have
many of the schools, middle schools and high schools have mountain bike teams, which is pretty awesome, and they'll compete amongst other schools in the area and race, and so there are things to get involved in. I mean, obviously, there's so many churches here, so if you belong to a church, chances are they've got a youth group that get the teens involved in on a daily, weekly basis. A lot of them in our church, they get involved in playing in the bands. They do charity events, they do fundraisers, they do canned food drives, all that sort of thing. So it's a way for the teens to get connected with other teens aside from just school.
Well, and I think too, a lot of the outdoor recreation too, right? So we've seen a lot of people that have been out kayaking, and teens are included in that too, kayaking at Watson Lake or doing some of the hikes around. So there's tons of stuff. I mean, I don't really think you can not find something to do here, no matter what your interests are.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything else we should hit on?
I think we've covered it all. I think it's an awesome place to live.
For sure, ditto. Hopefully the video helped a little bit. We'll drop in some video here. We love your comments, love your suggestions, and we'll just try to keep those videos coming.
Any questions, reach out to us. We'd love to chat.
See you guys.
Bye.